2 days ahead of U.S. deadline for troops withdrawal from Afghanistan, Taliban has sealed off Kabul airport to prevent large crowds from gathering there. New layers of checkpoints sprang up on roads leading to the airport, manned by uniformed Taliban fighters. Taliban's deputy director for police office has said that those Afghans who are intending to go abroad must have legal documentation like passports and visas and can go after resumption of commercial flights in the country. The development comes after NATO members France, Italy and UK ended the evacuation efforts in Afghanistan. Meanwhile, United States evacuated around 6,800 people on Saturday and so far evacuated more than 1 lakh of its citizens since Taliban takeover of the country.
We continue to evacuate American citizens and vulnerable Afghans out of Kabul. In fact, there are approximately 1,400 individuals at the Kabul airport who have been screened and manifested for flights today.
Kamaljeet Sandhu now joins us for the very latest. Kamaljeet, what's going on with the Taliban choking the Kabul airport? The forces are outside the airport to stop the crowd. How is the evacuation going to be possible in the midst of all of this?
Well, the military rule as such of the United States is almost coming to an end after 20 years. And in the past 2 weeks, they have scrambled the US and the allies to pull out its own troops as well as some of the other Afghan associates. Now, they do understand that there seems to be a high level of threat. The US embassy and then later, subsequently, Joe Biden, the president of America, has issued a warning alert saying in the next 24 to 36 hours, a big terror attack is expected. So on that particular line, even as the US troops and its allies have been pulling out, they know they are reaching the deadline of August 31st. Now, both sides have reiterated in a certain sense that these operations are likely to continue beyond 31st itself. But the situation is very, very fluid at this point of time. There seems to be a certain understanding that there is danger to not only American, but also other troops who have been present there. Now, countries like Italy, like UK have already managed to really pull out its troops. Now is a time of real challenge. What really happens to those Americans who have been staying behind. Now, we've seen whether it's UK or US, they have continuously reiterated the very fact that they will not be leaving their personnel or the other Afghans who've been associated with them behind. But that's not the feeling on the ground. So clearly, there seems to be a situation which is extremely fluid. People are anxiously been waiting. There have been mounting terror attacks, whether it's between the Taliban or the ISIS-K. There are other groups like Al-Qaeda as well as ISIS who have been using this as a hunting ground. The other aspect is that there could be an anticipation of civil war. We know already what's been happening in Panjshir, where the resistance force is trying to stop the Taliban from entering into that particular territory. So the situation at this point of time demands that US, which hurriedly wanted to end its military rule of 20 years, wanted a smooth takeover, but that really did not happen. We saw how the Afghan forces really fell before the Taliban and how situation continues to unfold in Afghanistan.
All right, leave it at that. Continue to be with us, Kamaljeet, right there, because Panjshir is the other story that Kamaljeet is getting us more information on. It's the last bastion of anti-Taliban resistance and the only hope for millions of Afghans.